Welcome, please, Ricky Hatton.
I'll take you a little present, Michael.
Have you? What is it?
It's, I know you're a Barnsley fan and I know you're a boxing fan, so a nice pair of shorts there.
Oh, hey, look at them. Thank you. I shall wear them with pride.
It's always... Well, it's nice to be nice until the time comes when you've got to punch someone, I suppose. That will be against you, obviously.
Well, no, you've got to do that against this Mayweather guy. And he's been... I don't want to stir things up. But he has been,
stir it up, please.
But he has been saying some terrible things about you. I mean, he's called you so far. He's called you a punk, a big mouth, and a coward.
Well, that's... I mean, for Floyd Mayweather to call you a big mouth, that's like... that's just unbelievable, because I think Floyd Mayweather is the ultimate big mouth. I've just spent a whole week of a tour with him in the United States, where we, in the space of a week, we did Los Angeles, Michigan, which is his hometown. We've done New York, and he done nothing but rabbit on and talk the biggest load of rubbish. And like, everyone knows me as I just let my fist do the talking. I'm a little bit of a Jack the Lad type, you know. And for him to say that, I think just...
Is he selling tickets, or does he mean it?
Well, there's one thing about, selling tickets. It's all part and part of boxing. Muhammad Ali was obviously the master, the greatest of doing it. But I think Muhammad Ali always did it with a bit of a twinkle in his eye. He did it with a little bit of class. But this Floyd Mayweather, I mean, he talked the biggest load of rubbish, bigging himself up. He's forever showing his diamond rings and his watches and his suits and that. What that's got to do with the fighting, I don't know. But, even when the cameras went off and the press wasn't there and everything, he was still coming up to me in restaurants, hurling abuse at me, and I just thought, well, why can the fight be 12 weeks away, Just...
You're looking forward to it, though?
Just really, because people like that, he's so full of himself. I think if there's such thing as reincarnation, he would probably want to come back as himself. He's just unbelievable.
He said all that. I mean, he's a great fighter.
Wonderful fighter. And one thing, I've never said anything different. I mean, I've always said from day one I wanted to be the best. I mean, I was over the moon when I won a British title, and then I won a world title, and I happened to win 6 more and do it in 2 weight divisions. But against Mayweather, I mean, I've got the chance to become the best fighter walking the face of the earth, really. But he's won world titles in 5 weight divisions, and there's only really Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Durán.
We're talking about the real greats,
people like that who've done that.
That's
so regardless what you think of him as a person, he's one hell of a fighter.
So, I mean, given that this guy is pound for pound ranked to be the best fighter in the world, and you've got to knock him off that pedestal, will you change your tactics, or what's the game plan?
Well, I think, he's got so much talent, so much boxing ability, he's got so much tricks up his sleeve, so I think I'd be a fool to try and go out there and outbox him. But I think what my game is pressure, lots of punches, lots of angles, body punching, a constant attack. And I think I've got the tools, to do the job, really. I mean, he shuts up shop, so to speak. He takes long periods in the fight where he doesn't do nothing.
Yes.
He fought Oscar De La Hoya in a super match last time, and Oscar nearly beat him, and Oscar really, he tired after 6 rounds, which my game is, I get stronger as the fight goes on, so I've got a wonderful chance, and I just
You're going to be in his face all the time, yeah?
Oh, I'll be all over him like a cheap suit. I just can't. But he's a wonderful talent. But ability and talent is only if you get given the space to use it.
Yes.
And I think he's certainly not going to get the space to use it against me. I mean, he's got so much ability, and he's won all his fights on talent, and he's just been too classy for everybody. But I don't think he's really been in a war or had to show his heart. And I think my heart will explode before he beats me on December the 8th. That's how I see it,
And that's how you look at it. It's a war, is it, when you get in the ring?
Oh, without a doubt a war. And I was with Roberto Durán last week, who was my all-time hero. I modelled my style on him, to give value for money to the fans, like a man of the people. And he's, he gave me a little bit of advice. He said, remember the fight again when I beat Sugar Ray Leonard? Nobody gave me a chance. And he said, and that's how you've got to fight him. Don't give him the space to use his wonderful ability, and that's what.
I mean, when we talk about what professional boxers do, I mean, we see it, and if you're ringside, you hear it too. I mean, that's the place to be to get some idea of how hard you hit each other. But even then, you're never going to be able to understand just the kind of ferocity that goes on in a ring. You've done a DVD about your life story, which is coming out in November, and in it, there's a wonderful sequence where you actually attack the camera. You attack a man holding a camera, obviously, with a pair of boxing.
Right,
but it gives us, I think, the clearest indication yet, something that I've seen, of what it might be like
for an opponent.
For an opponent. Yeah. Just let's have a look at this. This is you sparring.
Yeah.
Okay, big burst.
I was bobbing about in the seat there myself.
Yeah. Well, that's terrifying, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. That's my trainer, Billy Graham, and Billy's a trainer where he's really full on. You know, he has the body belt on, which is a big body armour, where you throw the body punches, and he's actually it's a little bit more realistic to a fight. It's like a spar. You won't really call the shots. He'll just move in and out of range, and you have to cut the ring down on him. So it's very, very hard work for Billy and full match to him.
There, don't you?
Yeah, I'm noisy as well, aren't I?
You are in the ring. You made that noise in the ring.
I've always done that.
Have
I've always been very, very aggressive, right from a very young age, and I think that's what's going to... I think Floyd Mayweather has beat a lot of good men, but I don't think he's fought anyone with my ferocity, as you can see there, and that's probably the closest you'll get to probably feeling what it's actually like in there,
Yes. when we see you there, I mean, when I first saw that, I thought that's something you can't teach people. That's born in people, isn't it?
Yeah.
That ferocity, that ability to take and receive punishment too. So when did it first happen for you? When did you first realise that you had that ability?
Well, when I first started, I was always very, very aggressive. But I didn't really take boxing too seriously. I had a couple of pals that I used to go to the gym with from a young age, and we just used to go and mess about, and it was all about just going in the gym and having a bit of a ding-dong and stuff like that at first. But then, when I got to about 13 years of age, I won a couple of national titles, and I think the first time I got the chance to represent my country, the penny started to drop, and people were starting to say to me, "God blimey, we've never seen a fighter so talented as you." And even as an amateur, they said I boxed like a young pro, with the body punching, the aggressiveness. And then it just developed from there, my career. I started training with the professionals from a very, very young age. And I had British champions, Commonwealth champions, even world champions I shared a gym with at the time were saying, you keep the way you're going, you're going to be a world champion.
What about training? 'Cause, I mean, now you're getting into shape now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got, about 5 weeks to 6 weeks to go before you fight, right? But you're known as Ricky Fatton, aren't you,
Yeah, well, the press have nicknamed me Ricky Fatton.
Tell us why.
Well, it's just... from a very, very... whether it's right or whether it's wrong, from a very young age, I've always been like I've been like a Jack the Lad, really. I like, I like going out for a pint, and I love my food. I can't walk past the chippy without going in, And, and I've always been honest and I think that's why fans like me. I think people come and support me because of me all-action style, but I think it's because of, what I am. I don't hide the facts of it, They say, "What did you do the other night?" So I went out, played darts, had a few pints of Guinness, and went for a curry. And people, where people will probably say, "Well, I was in bed for 8," I'm just a little bit more honest. And the press for years turned around and said, "Ricky, you put too much weight on in between your fights. You let yourself go too much." And it started to get me, and I kept proving them wrong each fight. And I get on fantastically well with the press, but after every fight now, I always put a T-shirt on with a big fat fella on with my head on. And it says Ricky Fatton. And it's just my way of saying to, the press,
But what do you eat then when you diet? I mean,
everything. Everything. Because, I mean, I'm a very, very busy fighter. I go in training for like 3 months at a time for a fight. And this will be my 3rd fight of the year. So if you look, there's 9 months of the year where I've been in training, So when you've gone 3 months, and all that training of having, your potatoes, your veg, your chicken, your rice, your stuff like that. The last thing you want to do when you've had a fight is have a Diet Coke and a salad, isn't it? You know? So and that's why people like me. They always get an honest answer, and I'm sort of like real.
But what's your meal, your breakfast before a fight?
Well, I always have a full English. A full English.
Your break training,
yeah,
have a full English.
You know, and then the Americans, when I go boxing in America, they're scratching their head. What's up with this English guy? What's up with him? But I've just always done it because, and you don't really get massive energy from what you eat the morning of the fight. It's what you eat the day before. You know, after the weigh-in, you carb up, you have your carbs, your proteins, your fluids. But, you know, for someone who loves his food so much like me, whenever I've finished my fight, I've done 12 weeks of having, you know, like budgie food, if you like, or, you know, I just like a little bit of grease in my belly, and it makes me feel mentally, because you've got to feel right in your head as well.
Certainly,
you know?
yeah. What about your family? Because you're a very close family. Your dad's your business manager, and what about coming to see your fight? Does your mum come to see your fight?
They both come and see me fight, and I don't know how they do it really, because nobody in the family had ever done boxing before. Normally it's something that gets passed down the family tree. Either a father or a grandfather's done it, but no one. And if my dad was here now, you know, and you took one look at him, the first thing that would go through your head is, how on earth he produced a boxing world champion? He's about 4'10". You know, he's nothing. You know, he's really, really short. You think, how's he produced the world champion? He's tiny. He's got a full-length photograph on his passport. You think, you know, where's the boxing come from here? But my mum, on the other hand, is a different story altogether, because I love me mum to bits, but my mum's an animal. You know?
What way?
She's just, you know, like, I'll go around and, you know, I just go, hey, mum, you all right? Get the pots done. You know, you've only gone round for the brew and that, and she's just, you know, she's lovely, but she's...
She takes a drink into a fight, doesn't she?
Pardon?
She takes a drink into a fight.
She does, yeah, but she's stupid, because, you know, she used to, everyone, you know, knows my mum and dad, and, you know, whenever they get there, the security, Mr. Hatton, Mrs. Hatton, come this way, you know. And she says, am I all right to bring me water in? And, you know, she got a little bottle of Volvic water there, and there's like, you know, half a bottle of vodka in it, you know. And someone did an interview for one of the papers and said, how do you cope with the nerves? She says, oh, well, you know, I always sneak in my little bit of, you know, vodka in my water glass. And I felt, well, you've just told the world now, you know. But they're very, very important to me. My family are everything. Because, you know, your promoters and your trainers and your managers and your team get a lot of the credit. But, you know, sometimes your parents who have been there, you know, from day one, they've had to run you about, put themselves out to get you where you're at.
What about your grands? Because they support you too, don't they?
They go. My two grands still go. My grand's 78 and the other one's 82. And they sit there, not quite ringside. It's a bit too fierce for them at the, you know, on the front row. But they sit there in the back, you know, and I say, you know, I won't get offended if you don't want to come. No, you know, we won't miss it for the world. And they take sandwiches with them and everything on the flask. You know, it's incredible. It's a real, you know, family.
But
you know,
that's
family
important,
thing.
isn't it? Because you can't get carried away with all the fame, the adulation, the money, and all that bit.
Yeah,
it's nice to sort of do.
My family are everything to me, and you know, I must admit, the fame thing has never really been something that I strive for. I'm happy just, you know, going in the local pub and having a game of darts and having a mess about with me, you know, with me pals, because, you know, I mean, if I could win me world titles and make a living and no one know me, I would much rather have that. You know, you won't find me walking down a red carpet anywhere. You know, that's just the way I just happy with what I'm doing and spending time with my family.
Well, listen, we're with you in Las Vegas in December, and just remember when you get in that ring, this is the guy who called you a punk, and a coward. I
know, but his nickname's Pretty Boy as well.
Oh.
I'm prettier than him. My mum's told me. But no, I mean, he's a wonderful talent, but I honestly believe, you know, we've had a lot of world champions and a lot of undisputed champions, but not too many that could say they were the best fighter to walk in the face of the earth at one time. And December, I'm going to bring that title back to Britain. I really am. I believe it.
Ricky, thank you.